Okay, quick video on how I cured my eczema, otherwise known as dermatitis. Same thing. Some people get confused and think it's different. They're not this different, they're the same thing. If you dig deep enough in the medical sites, their official documents, they basically point at the same thing. They're the same thing. So, other than that, they're full of crap. So, don't buy what the doctors tell you because it takes you a year to see a specialist, and he's only going to want to put drugs in you, and usually it's to help you sleep better, so deeper, so you scratch less. You'll still scratch, and now you've got all these problems. Some of the drugs deteriorate your bones, all kinds of other stuff. So forget all that crap. Even when you go to the medical sites, they claim there's no cure, and they claim they don't know what it is, and yet the things they tell you to do besides going to a specialist, are all preventative things that all point to diet, food things not to eat, whatever. So they already know, that's why they've listed all that stuff. But business. So diet is how I absolutely cured my eczema, or eczema, however you pronounce it. So before I get into the diet, let's talk about preventative while you're slowly changing your diet, because it takes time. While you're having major breakouts, let's explain the gloves you guys always see. These are nitrile gloves, which are better than any of the other type of latex or anything else, because they're tighter and they fit tighter, keep the moisture locked in better, but not so much that you get too sweaty and they prune. So they're great so what they do is they stop the itching, and then the moisture itself starts to heal. So I still wear these just out of really like a security blanket. Really, I really don't need them anymore. I haven't for a long time, and eventually will ditch them. When you're having major breakouts on your legs and arms for sleeping, saran wrap yourself. I know it sounds funny, but if you saran wrap it and tape it so it doesn't come off, it'll stop the itching, because you'll slightly sweat underneath, which will moisturize and soothe it. You'll get the odd itch, but that's okay. You can scratch gently because you'll be scratching on top of the saran wrap. Just don't use your nails. It'll feel soothing, and then the itch will stop, and you haven't opened yourself up, which is, of course, what happens when you scratch. You create giant wounds, and then it's a vicious cycle. So, while you're slowly transitioning to healing yourself, saran wrap for large breakouts, nitrile gloves, which you can get at dollar stores and stuff. They're the ones that doctors use, and moisturize a lot and drink lots of water. Now back to diet, and let's start with water. What I just said: no more tap water. Our tap water is completely toxic. Besides the fluoride, if you research, a lot of documentaries out on it where workers at the plants admit that most water plants are, all they do is remove they remove solids and solid waste and bacteria. They don't really remove much chemicals, and they can't, because the water is a chemical soup. The reason it's a chemical soup is because a lot of people are on prescription drugs, so some of those drugs go back into the pee, or go out back into the water, into the toilet through the pee. Also, people actually flush drugs down the toilet, so there. Also, people use toxic cleaning products that go down the toilet. So all those chemicals end up in a chemical soup, and that's also what's causing all kinds of problems, kidneys, all kinds of stuff, cancer, including eczema and dermatitis. Now, so water. So instead, buy filtered water. You can buy the big blue jugs. They're usually about between $5 and $8, depending where you get them. That'll last you, for one person, at least a week. So there you go. The machine that dispenses them, they're about between $100 and $200. So you have to suck it up there. But all these costs will be the way you can offset these costs is my next item, which is no more fast food and no more junk food. Only as a once in a rare blue treat do you do that. because first of all, junk food is full of chemicals. So again, it's attacking every part of your body, creating cancers, and it is dehydrating your skin and causing, helping exacerbate, I should say, your eczema or dermatitis. And fast food is regular crappy food. Besides that, it's crappy. It's all pesticides. It's not organic, so it's covered. What they use to make it has pesticides in it. So, no more fast food, no more junk food, and that brings us to the main key thing besides filtered water is organic. You have to start buying organic. But again, if you stop buying the very expensive junk food and fast food, you can take that money and put it towards organic. So even poor people can eat mostly organic. Not completely, but mostly. And that will, by sticking to just organic vegetables and organic products, which are all available in all grocery stores now, the main products like pasta and organic pasta sauces and pasta and tortilla chips and salsa and all the mainstays are just a little more expensive than the regular. It's the veggies that are about 2 to 3 times more expensive. So that's where you'll really spend the money. And back to the water for a second. So you're really only spending on filtered water with those big jugs about $40 to $50 a month. So again, without the fast food and the junk food and adjusting other things, you can and most people you can adjust in your budgets. I'm sure there's lots of ways you're wasting money. We all do it. You can put that towards your diet. And not only will you prevent cancers and have a healthier lifestyle, but you'll cure your eczema and dermatitis. So again, diet. Also, eat less starches and wheat. A lot of debate about whether the whole thing is whether it's gluten or wheat. Either way, it boils down to cheap breads that aren't really wheat. Most breads, cheap breads like Wonder Bread, sliced bread, hot dog buns, hamburger buns, that kind of stuff, cheap tortilla, flour tortillas, that's all made with enriched flour. Enriched flour is all the real wheat components removed. So it's just the starch. And starch, once you eat it, becomes sugar, which also feeds cancer. So it's also why most people, in modern day society, most people are sweetaholics and hooked on sugar. And it's because we're consuming sugar even when we don't know we're consuming sugar through breads and pastas. So only organic pastas, only organic breads. If you can't do organic bread, then just go high-end breads, the more expensive breads that are either, you see the 11-grain breads or the multi-grain, I think they're called, or the cracked wheat or whole wheat. Those are way better. If you can go organic, if not, just go with those. But no more enriched bread, enriched flour products. Cut down, not everything, you can't get everything organic. It's hard to get rice and other things, so cut down on anything you can't get. Corn products, a lot of corn products, tostadas and taco shells and stuff, it's hard to get organic. So if you can't get those organic, then just cut down on them and make those your little treats. Instead of fast food and junk food, make your non-organic items. That's what I do. That's my treat now, is I'll have a little bit of those. And whenever you eat those, or you crack and have a little fast food or junk food, once you've cleared your eczema, you're months into it, and your diet's set, and you see you've cured yourself, when you occasionally treat yourself to the non-organic or the junk food or fast food, you will get a little itching. You won't get a huge breakout because you're totally clear now, but you will get it in your key spots. And if you have these problems, you get the itches in key spots, the breakouts. So you'll get a little itch, and that'll remind you, there's those greasy potato chips I ate today, or that crappy white bread I ate today. So it'll be a good reminder. Other than that, like I said, so just to recap, clean water, mostly organic products, only organic vegetables, and wash them in water and baking soda, because even organic vegetables can have blowover with the chemicals, the pesticides. So if you just wash your organic vegetables in that, you'll just be sure there's no chemicals. And then get as much of the organic products as you can, and just stay away from the crap, the junk food and the fast food. Stay away, cut down or stop the booze. That dehydrates you. That's also what this, the breaking out is not just, it is a reaction to the chemicals, but it's also dehydration that's going on. That's why you moisturize. So by drinking lots of fresh water and cutting down on the pesticides and not drinking things like alcohol and coffee and tea even. Again, you're just doing yourself a favor. Making homemade soups is a great way to double down on the liquids and thus flush out your system with all the other crap that's all around us, and also hydrate yourself. So I always make big batches of soup, which will last me 4 or 5 days, and I use only organic water, not tap. So when you do that, again, you're doubling down because now you're drinking lots of filtered water, and you're eating lots of liquid soup. So you're hydrating. So there you go. So it's really simple. It's not easy necessarily at first. It's baby steps, but start with the water and start with organic vegetables, and from there you can get more serious, and definitely stop with the fast food and the junk food because they're full of chemicals, full of pesticides. Just to add, other things you can do besides moisturizing is pick your spots when you're going outside. They're spraying the entire world every day, but there's the odd day they take breaks, and even in every day when they do spray, it often moves on and you'll get breaks where it's clear skies. So if you can, just look outside when you're trying to plan your day, and if you can go out, avoid the spraying and go out when it's clear sky, that'll help you too. So again, diet. I can't stress enough. Don't believe the doctors. Don't do the chemicals. And then from there, once you start to feel better, maybe you'll consider giving up the meat and the dairy one day. But that's just, we won't get into that. But that will also help all your other issues and prevent cancer. And that stuff also, doesn't help anything with the skin conditions. Other than that, I also believe that eczema, besides that, that it's all the chemicals, I believe it is radiation. And the big pointer to that is the fact that radiation isn't even in anybody's conversation. And how can it not be? We know we're radiated constantly, and we know radiation immediately affects the skin. So stay away from smart meters. Put up some kind of shielding. You research that. If you've got a smart meter close to your house or at your house, you'll research it and Google it, and there's ways you can shield it or protect yourself a little bit. So yeah, if you can avoid radiation, microwaves, don't get rid of the microwave too. That's besides it affects everything. So it's a long list of what microwaving yourself does. So no more microwaving. Get rid of it. I use a crock pot now. I have a giant crock pot, and I warm things up in my crock pot. Sometimes directly, like I pour it in, or sometimes I'll just take little, oven-safe dishes, and I'll put them inside the ceramic crock pot, and that's now my microwave. So when I want to just warm something up, that's what I do. And of course, you can warm stuff up on the stove and in the oven as well. But diet. Good luck. Take care.